There are 3 free agents the Detroit Lions could sign this offseason. Now, I understand that the Detroit Lions may not sign any free agents because they probably will wait a little bit. I mean, maybe see if injuries come up, or they'll wait until like preseason to see if anybody gets cut and they have to bring someone else in, maybe for tryouts. But anyways, one, it's kind of fun to do these lists, and there's still a lot of talented players out there in the free agent market. And really, it's the NFL. You never know. Teams do certain things just randomly, and we don't really know. And sometimes, you know, they know more than we do, and they have to go get a guy. So here are 3 players that are still available as free agents that the Detroit Lions could consider bringing in. Again, they may not bring in any of these guys, but I thought these were the 3 best players that were still available that would fit the Detroit Lions really well. So coming in at number 3, we have a guy that is familiar with the Detroit Lions from last season. That guy is Bruce Ellington. So Bruce Ellington came in as a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions last season because of some injuries. I mean, we had a lot of injuries on that offensive side of the ball. So Bruce Ellington came in. He actually had some problems. I guess he was missing some kind of tendon in his Achilles or something like that. But anyways, he still stepped in and played a really good role for the Detroit Lions. It was nothing crazy. He had 23 receptions for 132 yards, which was a 5.7 yard average. Nothing crazy. Really, he was better everywhere else in his career, but it was solid for the Detroit Lions. And the fact is, he's familiar with this team, and maybe not the playbook because it's going to be different with Darrell Bevell, but he's familiar with a lot of these players. So I thought that was one reason the Detroit Lions could definitely bring him in, and especially if they're not super happy with the production they are getting right now out of their wide receivers. And if the Detroit Lions are maybe a little bit worried that, okay, Marvin Jones Jr. and Kenny Galladay may be a little bit more hurt than we thought, they may bring in somebody just for a little bit, and I think Bruce Ellington will make sense because he's been here before. Now, Bruce Ellington is more of a slot wide receiver. He's not going to be on the outside. So if the Detroit Lions are looking for an outside wide receiver, they'd have to go the route like a Pierre Garçon or something like that, because that's not really what Bruce Ellington does very well. But I thought I'd just throw him in here because he's been with the Detroit Lions, and he probably wouldn't take a huge contract. So coming in at number 3, we have Bruce Ellington. Next up at number 2, we have a cornerback named Morris Claiborne. And some of you guys, I'm pretty sure, have actually mentioned this guy in the comments below. Morris Claiborne is a cornerback, and Morris Claiborne would really help out at that position. He can play the outside and the inside. He plays the outside a lot. But Morris Claiborne would be a type of signing if the Detroit Lions were very unconfident at that number 2 cornerback position, or if they were unconfident that the Detroit Lions would really bring back Darius Slay. If there's any questions with Darius Slay, and, you know, I've read some things where they're like, oh, Darius Slay may not be here next season or something like that, or maybe they just won't pay him or they'll trade him. There's a lot of rumors going around, but again, they're just rumors. But if for some reason something happened with Darius Slay and they were like, hey, we got to go get a cornerback, Morris Claiborne would make sense. If they're not happy with that number 2 cornerback position, they wanted to add some competition or see if someone else could take it over, I mean, they'd be paying a little bit more money, but Morris Claiborne may be that option. In 2018, he came up with 2 interceptions and 14 pass deflections. He's a 5'11 corner, like I said, so about the same size as Darius Slay. So I guess this guy would be a solid fit for the Detroit Lions if they wanted to add another outside cornerback, maybe to add some competition, or if something goes wrong already there. Again, a lot of these guys probably won't be signed, but they're the 3 best ones that I thought that would fit the Detroit Lions. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have a defensive lineman / outside linebacker in Nick Perry. Nick Perry was a guy that was with Green Bay Packers, so there you go, you get a divisional player. But Nick Perry is a 3-4 type of outside linebacker, most likely on the outside. So this is a guy that's going to add veteran experience if you bring him in, because we have a lot of young guys right now. I mean, even though Romeo Okwara was really good last season, he's not very old, he's still very young. Then you bring in Austin Bryant out of Clemson, who again is a rookie. We have a lot of young guys on the outside, so let me just say that. New linebackers there with Trey Lamar and Jelani Tavai. I think it would be nice to add some veteran experience with Nick Perry. It's just, I don't know if the Detroit Lions want to do this. He may want too big of a contract, but either way, again, he's familiar with the division, he's familiar with the Detroit Lions from playing them, and maybe he can give us a little bit of insight on the Green Bay Packers and what they're doing. But Nick Perry comes in at number 1, and again, just had some veteran experience, and he was a solid player. Now, in 2017, he actually came up with 7 sacks, so I thought that was pretty crazy. Last season was a big dip for him, but who knows? If the Detroit Lions brought him in, I'm sure Matt Patricia would do very well, and they always want so much depth, so I don't think it would be a problem to bring him in. Anyways, those are my top 3 players that are still available free agents that the Detroit Lions could potentially sign. Again, there's a good chance they won't sign anybody like this, and they'll probably wait. I understand that, but I thought make it a fun list, because why not? If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you go follow me on Instagram at DoseOfDion, no capital letters, no spaces, because at some point we will be doing polls over there. Also, I wanted to know if you guys wanted to start like a fantasy league for the season, because if you guys wanted to, I thought we could get like a pool going. We could have a whole bunch of people in there, all of you subscribers, and I think it'd be super fun once the season starts. So just let me know your feedback on that. Thank you, Prod, for watching, and I'm out.